Speaking of light, it will draw interest from the right people. So everybody's not gonna like it. That's cool. But the right people will like it. And young men, this is a mentality you need to understand. It took me over 30 years to figure this out. The right people will always see you and will appreciate you. See, what happens is we try to do the right thing and we're sitting there trying to mold ourselves to fit in areas that we're not supposed to. Sometimes we're trying to fit in areas that are too small for us. Squeeze in. We are way bigger, meant to take up way more space. We shine way brighter, going to these dark places to dull us out. Talking to these dumb people when we way too smart. They just can't process us. All right? Being a gentleman is not an easy thing, guys. There's a lot of punks running around these neighborhoods. This false bravado, all this tough guy stuff. It's all punk stuff, trust me. Because the real man don't do all that. He ain't got to. Got nothing to prove. But there's a lot of cowards walking around here with a whole lot to prove. Don't be one of them. Don't fall for it. Be better. My challenge to you.
Welcome to the Just Inspire podcast, where we mentor, motivate, and empower the next generation of leaders. I'm your host, Mr. Justin H. Tucker, and I'm here to share stories, strategies, and solutions for thriving in today's world. All right, guys, what's going on? What's going on? Today, guys, I want to talk about the pillars of Just Inspire. And if you're new to the channel or you're new to the show, wherever you're watching from, again, I'm Mr. Justin H. Tucker. In our first episode, we talked about my journey to creating Just Inspire. Today, we're diving into the foundation of this program. You know, some of our values and skills that guide everything we do. What does Just Inspire stand for?
Do you ever think, am I a good role model? You know, am I a good example for people on how to live their lives?
It's not boasting, man. When I created JustINSPIRE Mentoring, man, I've literally thought about my life. You know, I'm 39 now. The things I've been through, my experiences, the ups and downs, right? And we all have them. That's just part of life. It's like a flow of the ocean. You will not be in the ocean and not come across waves. It's how you respond to those waves, right? And what helps you respond to those waves is knowledge and support. And it's not that people didn't try, but for whatever reason, for me in my life, I felt like there was a lack of it. And more knowledge, more support would have led to possibly better experiences. Perhaps I saw those waters in a better way. And I took all that pain from my life and suffering and struggle. And I said, man, if I can at least share this knowledge with a younger man, then you know what? The pain and suffering, it wasn't for nothing. It was a worthy sacrifice. Because through that experience, I'm able to extract knowledge, real lived knowledge, that I can now give to another young man who can apply it. And by applying that knowledge, go that much further.
Because now, I know what I must do.
Man, Just Inspire is my pledge to help prepare young men, give them everything they need so that they can be independent and free. Just that simple. Independent and free. I don't think most men walking around are socially independent. I think a lot of us, we're in some kind of groups or we're not thinking on our own. And fiscally, we're not free. We got costs. I believe with proper mentorship, you can guide and give young people the skills they need to alleviate all of that. And how do we do it? But I want to talk about the areas that we focus on. Social emotional learning, SEL. You know, SEL stands for understanding emotions, which leads to better decision making in relationships. And when we look at the plight that's facing a lot of our communities, number one, family is almost gone, right? Which means that we're struggling with relationships. And a lot of times when we see conflict and people, you know, crashing out and doing asinine things, it's poor decision making. So that's why we make SEL core to everything we do and conversations that can lead to us improving those outcomes. Next thing we want to talk about is social etiquette. Social etiquette is about polishing our social soft skills that leads to opening doors. And that talent alone might not, right? I mean, we there's talented people around us all the time, but if they look rough, you don't want to deal with them. But if someone speaks to you well, you lower the guard, you're more open. Etiquette, I believe, is a superpower that can help us infiltrate spaces and create opportunities. And I believe that young men, in particular, young men of color that use social etiquette and have no problem dressing themselves up to look like somebody, this will be like a rocket ship, in my opinion. Communication. Woo! Communication. I always say that this has been a struggle for me most of my life. Clear, confident communication can redefine a young man's world. Let's be clear though. A lot of times when we're communicating, it's not clear. We have to deal with so many different biases and opinions and perspectives. Here at JustINSPIRE Mentoring, man, we're all about programming and understanding what those modes of communication look like. You guys should also know that I'm a professor. I teach human communications one-on-one. So yeah, you got somebody that's the right source for all this information. And then last, but I believe my masterpiece, chess. 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 Chess! It's more than a game! It teaches patience, strategy, and forward thinking. Stuff that we're not doing at all. We're impatient. We have no strategy. And we're never forward thinking. You talk to somebody in the hood right now, they're thinking maybe 5 minutes forward. Some of y'all don't know what you're going to do by the end of the night. Forward thinking is thinking a year, 5 years ahead. Forward thinking is why when I was struggling going through some of the worst predicaments possible, I never fazed me and you didn't know it because I didn't show it. Why? Because I wasn't here. Sometimes you don't want to be present. Sometimes you need to be in the future. You know, I tell people, depression is when you're in the past, anxiety is when you're in the future. Learn to be happy in the present. There are times, though, when what you're dealing with presently ain't good. So you might need to go to the future to be focused on what's to come, because what's to come is way better than what is right now. Sometimes you need to go into the past, because you need to remember what you've been through. So this is all right. You're going to get through this because you've been through worse. You've survived the worst moments of your life until now. And there's no reason to stop that thinking. That's what forward thinking is all about. All right? Yes, yes. Let's talk about the real life application. Oh my goodness. I want to shout out one of my original mentees. When I first moved to Baltimore City, this young man would meet with me every single day. I'll put an asterisk. The days he didn't meet with me were because when I didn't come to school, and looking back at it, I missed more days than he did. And even when I missed, he's texting me. The young man was on it, focused. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something deep. When I first took that job that year, I went to a training at Coppin State University where I met the president of Coppin State. Phenomenal brother, phenomenal brother, phenomenal brother. He told me his dreams and ambitions, and he talked about this presidential scholarship program and how his dream was to, fill this group every year and provide young people with everything they need to be successful, because we know just getting into college is not enough. Actually, when I left that training, I said it's a goal of mine to put a young man through college full ride. I thought that was an ambitious thing. I've helped a lot of young people get into college. Never a full ride. I've gotten some half, I've gotten some partial, never full. All right. There were several other guys I was working with who seemed like they were better speakers, seemed like they had better grades. They seemed like they were just the better position. If we were doing a draft analysis on my scholars, like potential NBA players, wasn't the first pick. And you know what? Looking back at it, I probably wasn't the first pick either. Shame on you. Shame on me. You want to know why? Because at the end of the year, he became the presidential scholarship awardee to Coppin State University, and he's still there. And let's give our we need to go on the show. We need to get on the show. Wouldn't that be dope? Love to hear his perspective. But I say that to say it was the spirit of what I hope to bring to JustINSPIRE Mentoring. You see, I believe that if I have the opportunity to work with more young men, intentionally, more young men will see that same result. Because I know what it takes, because I've been there. And all I want to do is give back. Help another young man make those same changes. Absolutely. So, let me know if you've seen these principles work for you in your life. Please connect. Follow us on social media. Connect with JustINSPIRE 85. Connect with Counselor Tucker on Instagram, on Twitter. Connect with the Just folks on YouTube. Connect with Just Inspire on YouTube. Follow the podcast. Thank you and I love y'all. See you next episode. We out.